Are you caught in the shoulda, woulda, coulda? In this week's episode of Higher Energetic Resonance Inspirations, I'm talking about feeling regret in midlife. And a quote to start: do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. Buddha. Hello, my name is Carol May Whittick, and I support women to bloom in midlife with my creativity and spiritual life coaching. One of the things that I regularly see, and one of the concerns that many of my coaches come to me, is the fact that they have a lot of experience and a lot of feeling about regret when they get to midlife. They're feeling that many opportunities have passed them by, and they've got to a point in their life where it's just too late to do anything about it. Well, nothing could be further from the truth. And maybe you are feeling this too. And what I want to say is that midlife regret is actually a powerful opportunity to assess what we're feeling regret about. And then what are we going to do about that feeling? We can use that feeling, instead of falling into that feeling of regret, we can actually use it as data to see what it is that we're experiencing and work out whether these things are true and we should hold on to them, or whether they're indicating something else that we need to contemplate, to address, to shift, so that we can bloom into midlife. Some of the common themes that I hear a lot about are regrets about things that they should have done with their career, jobs they should have taken, opportunities that they missed. Maybe they should have studied, maybe they should have traveled, maybe there are relationships that they should have had, and maybe there were relationships that they shouldn't have had. But all of this is pointing to us to really realign ourselves. I don't want to talk about and hear about this idea that we're having a crisis in midlife. This is a pivotal moment in our time. It's the axis of our experience. So this is a time to actually take a look and see what it is that's working for us and course correct for anything else that is weighing heavy on us. This is important information, and we should be grateful that we get this opportunity to reassess. Historically, midlife has always been a point where it's almost downhill, but with me, I'm talking about blooming into midlife. All of the women that work with me find a new sense of self, find an awakening within themselves at this point in time, if they can just look at what's being shown to them and see the gift in all of these things. The weight of regret is coming from the fact that these things can really weigh heavy on us. And it's when we succumb to the fear and we feel that we've reached the end of the road and it's too late for us and there's no more opportunities. But maybe it's the weight of reminding us that maybe we should go and reassess things that we didn't go into, or pick up things that we left off because we thought maybe it wasn't going to work out for us, or we started too late. But the thing is, the time is going to pass anyway. So what are you going to do? If you didn't start now, then a year from now, you still haven't started. Whereas if you started now, in a year's time, you've got a year's worth of experience and understanding of what you're starting. So if you're lucky enough to continue to have breath in your body, see every day as a golden opportunity to grab all the things that you want to do. And think about the pain of regret and the weight of regret. How much longer do you want to carry that? Because it's only going to get more and more of a block and more of a burden if you continue to hold it. So what can we release around the pain and the strain of regret? Regret can and is your teacher. Regret can and does offer you great insights into your values, your desires, and those unfulfilled aspirations. If there's something that's continually coming at you, always chasing you, then take notice of those cues. There's part of you that wants you to address what you've left behind. There's an important message there for you. I also encourage you to find a way of letting go of the self-judgment about the choices that you've made. And remember that when you made those choices, you were doing the best that you could with the information that you had about yourself and with the understanding that you had about the way that your world was working, what was possible for you in that moment. But now you realize that maybe some of the choices that you did or didn't make didn't serve you in the long term. So are you going to choose to make that story happen for you once again? Because we have a choice. It's always a choice. Maybe we're making those choices because we're feeling fear. but we're in power here. We're moving into this bloom and gorgeous period of our life. And we can do so knowing that we've got decades of wisdom behind us. And every choice that we can make is knowing that we don't want to regret anything. We don't want to leave anything behind. We don't want to, as Wayne Dyer said, go to our graves with a song still inside of us. And what about looking at it from a spiritual perspective? Often when we are really locked in seeing things from the human point of view, it feels like everything is running out, time is running out. We're only able to view ourselves as the human, the limited human that has a limited time here. But if we think of ourselves as spirit, as eternal spirits, experience ourselves through the human, we can almost offer some compassion to the fears and the way that our human will hold ourselves back. When I work with my clients and we're deepening their experience of themselves as spiritual beings, deepening their connection to their soul, then they realize that there's so much richness to their life. And yes, we go into the human part of ourselves time and time again, and we will, because that's who we are here to experience ourselves as. But if we remind ourselves that there's this bigger spiritual aspect of ourselves that we can feel into and we can come at ourselves, we don't want to leave any experience behind, because the joy of being human is to be able to feel and experience everything in a human body. Being contracted and being in that human space gives us an opportunity to experience something in a very real and visceral way. With that regret piece, this is a call for you to rediscover what your soul is calling you to do. And exploring your regrets can be a sign that's pointing to the desire of your soul, that part that just won't let you go, that keeps tapping you on the shoulder, that keeps niggling like a stone in your shoe, that you can't let go, that you can't stop thinking about, that you know that if you don't take action and step into it, that pain of regret will grow deeper, and nobody wants that. This is a time when you're in that spiritual time to slow down, to really reflect on what it is that you want to do and create a practice for yourself. That can be walking, that can be meditating, that can be just sitting and allowing time and space for the divine and divine guidance and your intuition to come and step into your experience. And for that as well, I'm going to remind you that I've created a midlife meditation, which is yours to download for free. I'm contemplating and just sharing with you the joys of reaching midlife, reminding ourselves that here we are in a new era of our life and being so grateful that we've made it so far and still have our hearts and our souls open to new experiences, and realizing that every day that you are here with the ability to call yourself old is a blessing, and we should be grateful for that. So if you're interested in grabbing that midlife meditation, the links are in the show notes. And to free yourself with regret is to decide, make a decision about how you're going to live your life. One thing that I've done is I've put a pinpoint on my life. I've decided that midlife is the middle of my life. I've decided that now I'm going to live to 100, or I'm going to get as close as damn it to it. So everything that I make, every move that I make is with that in mind, making sure that every aspect of myself is taken care of so I can enjoy those years in vitality in all areas of my life. So living with passion is living with the desire to do more and be more and see more, to learn more, to expand yourself. What is it that you could talk about for hours on end? What are you curious about? Where can you bring that wonder back into your life? And where can you add excitement into every day? Can you see the passion that you can add into every single thing that you do, every single task that you have to take part in your day? Having a shower, brushing your teeth, be that the way that you're fixing your food or the way that you're dressing. If you can start to see passion in every moment of your life, it just brings a renewed excitement in the fact that you're still here. and you're in the midpoint of your life and you're going to make something amazing happen from this standpoint. And by seeing that, you'll realize, you know what, I felt some regret when I didn't answer the call of my soul, and I allowed fear to overcome me. But what were those fears? What was stopping you? Was it circumstance? Was it an imagined circumstance? Was it fear about what would happen? Was it fear about what other people would say? What's happening there now? All of those external voices and circumstances that you allowed to stop you, are they still present in your life today? When I ask my clients this, more times than not, they're not. The thoughts aren't there, and the people, sure as damn it, are not still there. And yet you listen to the voice of somebody who was probably still in their own fear, stopping you from doing something that you were passionate about, something that you were maybe going to step out of line, maybe going to take a risk that nobody knew anything about. But the thing about taking risks is, even if it all goes down, if you're still alive, there's time to regroup. If it all goes down, it shows you a way that doesn't work so you can change again. There's no real regret in trying. There's only regret when you don't. And can you remember a time when you heard an inner voice, where you were listening to your intuition? Did you take action on that, or did you not take action on that? Either way, you know that there's a part of you that's always guiding you and always suggesting things to you. If you followed your intuition, then you know that something's happened. Maybe they worked out the way you wanted it to, or maybe they just led you into a new path where you met new people, had new experiences, and experienced growth as a result. Or if you allowed your intuition to go unnoticed, and then you realize the pain of regret by not trying. Your intuition is always pushing you forward. The visions that you are shown are there for your expansion. We are here as spiritual beings to create in this world. And did you not step forward because you wanted something to appear in a certain way? Did you want your success to look like this or that? We can never truly really know where our dreams are going to take us. We can, on the start line, envisage what success is going to look and feel like. But is that why you held back? Is that why you stopped yourself? Because the dream seemed too big, or the success that you had you didn't realize? Sometimes success isn't one big moment. It's incremental moments of victories that stack and stack and stack until you find yourself in a different place. Trying to figure out what step 100 is going to be when you haven't even taken the first step, it's a losing game. Take the first step. And back to thinking about yourself from a spiritual aspect, thinking of yourself from your soul. What do you want your legacy to be? And this is not about legacy that you can prove to other people that you did a certain thing. It's what do you want in those quiet moments when you are sitting and reflecting on your own life? If I think about my own experience, the dreams that I had for myself may not have turned out the way that I thought they would. But man, I've got some stories. And I'm glad that I took all of those turns. It's been the transformation of me. It's meant that I've got such a different view on my life that I could never, ever have imagined from the beginning. Things that I thought that would happen that didn't happen in the way that I thought would happen have pushed me into corners and areas that, stories for days. Are you prepared now to take that chance and to go forward with excitement, so that you're not looking back in 5, 10, 20 or 30 years wishing that you had started it now? And that sometimes things don't always happen when we think they should happen. Maybe there are experiences that we need to go through. Maybe there are things that we need to learn, people that we need to meet before we're actually ready to go and step into the dream that we've held for so long. And that reminder, that constant regret, is just a tap on the shoulder to remind you not to forget what it is that you at least came here to try and have a stab at. I implore you also to go easy on yourself, forgive yourself for the time that you just didn't make the move. It was a good reason. And even if the reason was that you gave into the fear, and the fear is the false evidence of things appearing real, you gave into that fear because you felt it was safer to stay. And now you know that. I know from my own experience, I've taken so many risks in my life. And I've taken those risks not realizing that they were risky, but believing that staying still was the riskier option. not wanting to get to the end of my life with so many regrets. So just going for it and giving it a try was worth it than wondering if I'd be okay by ignoring the dreams that I had. So let's leave you with some takeaways. What can you do today? Think about what it is that you want to do. What's calling you back to re-examine it and take a tiny step towards that every day. Maybe that tiny step might be to really research what it would take to make that dream happen. Is there something that you need to learn? Is there something that you can start to do in a very small way? Can you explore and deeply ask yourself, what is it that held you back? And was it a valid reason to be held back? And see yourself as worthy of the dreams that are being shown and the person that you will bloom into when you're stepping into those dreams. Because as you're stepping into those dreams, you're going to be radiating out to everybody else, and they're going to want to know what it is that you're doing. You'll be able to inspire those around you to step into their dreams. I'm an idealistic person, so I always wonder, what would the world be like if everyone was living in the way that their heart was guiding them to? We need more people now in this world who are living from the heart, living in a true way that gets them into passion, that gets them into curiosity, that keeps them in their heart and their love, because that will transform the experiences and the way that we are moving. There's so many opportunities right now. There's so many systems that are going away, and there is space for all of us to live from our heart. Imagine the higher energetic resonance that the world would be on if we're all living from our passions, living from our heart. And as I wrap up today, I just want to remind you to remember sometimes that history has a list of people, men and women, who didn't really start to do their own work, the work that they are notorious for, until they reached their midlife. Holding on to regrets is something we can't do anything about, that pain of regret. Know that you have everything within you to bloom into midlife. And to leave you with another quote, this from Oscar Wilde: "No man is rich enough to buy back his past." So thank you for joining me on another episode. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like and subscribe, and also a review. Let me know what you're enjoying and let me know where you are in midlife. And again, I remind you, download the midlife meditation. Take it with you when you go for a walk, or play it while you're just pottering around the house, and listen to what the words are saying. Here I am in a new era of my life. Thank you, and see you next time.